What if the person you trusted most had already decided how your life would end? Liam Walker never wanted to be extraordinary. He wanted to be invisible, not in a sad way, just in a safe one. 37 years old, data analyst, quiet apartment in Toronto, no kids, no scandals, no enemies, a life so predictable it barely left a footprint. That's why the envelope felt wrong. It was waiting for him on his kitchen table when he came home one night. No stamp, no address, no sign of forced entry. Just his name written neatly across the front. Liam Walker. Inside was a single sheet of paper. You are not the person you think you are. Liam laughed, out loud, a short, uncomfortable laugh. Someone's idea of a prank, a mistake, a weird marketing stunt. Then he noticed the date printed at the bottom, March 14th, 2028. 2 years in the future. He checked his phone. Today's date, March 14th, 2026. The paper continued. At 11:42 p.m., you will receive a call. Do not answer it. If you do, someone dies. Liam checked the time. 11:39 p.m. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. He froze. The phone kept vibrating in his hand. Once, twice, 3 times. He let it ring. At 11:43, the call stopped. Nothing happened. No sirens. No screams. No news alerts. Just silence. Liam stood in his kitchen for 10 minutes, heart pounding, staring at his phone like it might explode. Then his doorbell rang. He jumped through the peephole. He saw a woman in a dark coat, hair pulled back tightly, eyes sharp and alert. She knocked again. Liam Walker, she said through the door. We need to talk. Now. He didn't open the door. Who are you? He called. My name is Nora, she said. And if you don't let me in, you're going to get a second letter tomorrow. That one won't be so gentle. Silence. Then Liam unlocked the door. She didn't smile when she stepped inside. Didn't look around. Didn't sit down. You ignored the call, she said. Good. You wrote that letter? Liam asked. Yes. Why? Because you're about to remember something you shouldn't. Liam crossed his arms. I don't remember anything. That's the problem. She pulled out her phone and showed him a photo. It was him. Not today. Not last year. Younger. Thinner. Standing in front of a massive concrete facility. Fences, warning signs, armed guards in the background. He stared at it. I've never been there, he said. Nora tilted her head. You built it. Liam laughed again. I analyzed sales data for a logistics company. No, she said calmly. You used to design behavioral systems. For who? For governments, corporations, intelligence agencies. That's insane. Nora put her phone away. You were the architect behind Project Anchor. Never heard of it. That's because you erase yourself from it. Liam felt something shift in his chest. Not fear, not disbelief, but something colder. A sense of recognition without memory. What is Project Anchor? He asked. It's a contingency system, Nora said. A human fail-safe. For what? For the moment society becomes unstable. Liam shook his head. You're telling me I'm some kind of secret weapon? No, she said. You're the trigger. Nora explained in fragments. Years ago, Liam had worked on a system designed to predict large-scale human behavior. Financial collapses, mass unrest, political breakdowns, social contagion. Not to stop them, to guide them. Project Anchor wasn't meant to prevent chaos. It was meant to shape it. Every system needs a reset point, Nora said. You designed one. Liam sat on the edge of his couch. That doesn't make any sense. You built a model that could determine when society reached a breaking threshold, she said, and then influence a specific individual to act in a way that redirects the outcome. Influence how? Emotionally, psychologically, situationally. Who is the individual? Liam asked. Nora met his eyes. You. His stomach dropped. You were the intervention, she said. The human variable. A pressure valve. So you'd push me into doing what? Whatever the system needed. Liam stood up. No, that's not possible. You think your life feels predictable because you chose it, Nora said. You didn't. It was designed. By who? By you. Silence filled the room. Then Liam noticed something. You said I erased myself, he said. Why? Because you discovered what Anchor would eventually require. And what is that? Nora hesitated. Someone to take the blame. That night, Liam couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the letter, the date, the call. At 3:12 a.m., his phone buzzed. A new message. You're already late. Unknown number. He sat up. What do you want? He typed. 3 dots appeared. Then, to see how long you stay obedient. Obedient to what? No response. The next morning, Liam went to work. Except he didn't go to work. He drove past his office, past his gym, past his usual coffee shop. He drove to the address printed in tiny text at the bottom of the letter, an address he hadn't noticed before. An industrial park outside the city. The building was abandoned, or so it looked. Inside, behind a rusted steel door, he found a fully operational facility. Servers humming, screens lit, data streaming, and on the central display, Project Anchor, status, active. He stepped closer. A profile appeared. Subject, Liam Walker. Current state, compliant. Risk level, low. Next intervention window, 42 days. His chest tightened. Intervention for what? He whispered. Another line appeared. Event projection. Financial systemic collapse, probability, 87%. Mitigation path. Subject action required. Liam felt dizzy. Action how? The screen changed. Subject will discover necessary information. Subject will attempt to prevent event. Subject will be held responsible. He stumbled back. This is insane, he said out loud. Then he saw the final line. Subject will believe it was his choice. Nora found him there. I told you not to look yet, she said. Liam spun around. You knew about this place? I helped build it, she said. Before you erased me, too. Why didn't you stop me? Because you want to be stopped. He stared at the screens. You said I erased myself because of what Anchor would require. Yes. What does it require? Nora swallowed. A fall guy. Liam turned to her slowly. You mean? Every time the system intervenes, she said, someone has to take responsibility for the fallout. Publicly, legally, historically, and that someone is you. Liam's voice was barely a whisper. So my life now, this quiet, boring, safe existence, is a holding pattern, Nora said, until the next collapse. And then what? Then you remember, she said. You act. You prevent something worse. And you take the blame for something bad. Liam laughed bitterly. So I'm not the hero. No, Nora said. You're the sacrifice. Silence stretched between them. Then Liam asked, How many times has this happened? Nora looked away. 3. Over the next week, Liam couldn't escape the feeling of being watched. Not by cameras, but by outcomes. Every decision felt guided. If he turned left, traffic cleared. If he turned right, someone cut him off. If he stayed home, he received emails that altered his schedule. If he went out, he met people who steered conversations in specific directions. It wasn't control. It was suggestion, subtle, invisible, effective, and worst of all, it worked. He started to notice patterns. When he felt unusually calm, something bad happened somewhere else. When he felt stressed, someone else avoided disaster. His emotions weren't just his. They were levers. Then came the news alert. Major financial institutions reported irregular activity. Market volatility spiked. Panic began to spread. Nora called him. It's starting, she said. What is? The next collapse. And what am I supposed to do? Something that looks like a mistake. Liam's stomach twisted. What kind of mistake? An approval, she said. A data release. A delay. Something that shifts blame to you. And what does it stop? Millions losing their jobs, Nora said. Supply chain collapsing. Governments defaulting. So I ruin my life to save everyone else. Yes. Liam closed his eyes. And if I don't? Nora's voice was quiet. Then someone else will pay. and it won't be controlled. Liam didn't sleep that night. He replayed every strange moment of his life. Missed opportunities, sudden moves, unexplained decisions, relationships that ended for no clear reason. All of it now felt engineered. He remembered something small from childhood, standing in a classroom, looking at a globe, and feeling an overwhelming sense of responsibility for nothing specific, just everything. He had dismissed it. Now, he wondered if that was the first seed. The next morning, he received an email from his company. Subject line, urgent, data integrity, review required. Inside was a data set he'd never seen before. Proprietary financial models tied to global markets. This shouldn't be in my inbox, he whispered. Then his phone buzzed. Unknown number. This is your window. What happens if I release this? He typed. 3 dots. Then, you become the villain. And if I don't, then the villain becomes reality. Liam stared at the screen. He thought about Nora, about the millions of people who would never know they were spared something worse, about how easy it would be for history to hate him, and how little that hatred would matter if it saved lives. His finger hovered over the mouse. He hesitated. Then he clicked. The fallout was immediate. Headlines exploded. Data breach rocks global markets. Analysts blamed for financial turmoil. Insider leak causes billions in losses. His name was everywhere. His face, his background, his private life. Strangers judged him, hated him, threatened him. His company fired him. Banks sued him. Politicians condemned him. And quietly, behind the scenes, the collapse stopped. Markets stabilized. Supply chains held. Governments avoided default. No one noticed a disaster that never happened. Liam sat alone in his apartment, watching the news, feeling strangely calm. Too calm. Then he remembered. Not just this. Everything. The first time. The second. The third. He remembered designing Anchor. Remembered predicting these moments. Remembered choosing himself. And remembered why. Because he trusted himself to care more about outcomes than reputation. Because he trusted himself to sacrifice comfort for stability. Because he trusted himself to disappear if necessary. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. You did it, Nora said. I always do, he replied. And now, Liam said, I break the system. You can't, Nora said. Anchor is embedded everywhere. I built it, Liam said, which means I built its weakness. What weakness? Dependence. On what? On me. Liam stood up, pacing his apartment. Anchor only works because it predicts me, he said. My psychology, my values, my behavior. Yes, so if I change, Anchor becomes blind. Nora was silent. I can't destroy it, Liam said, but I can make it useless. How? By becoming unpredictable. That's dangerous. So is letting a system decide who deserves to suffer. Nora hesitated. What are you going to do? Disappear, Liam said. For real this time. But then who will the system use? No one, Liam said. That's the point. You're talking about removing the failsafe, she said. That could cause chaos. Or, Liam said, it could force humanity to face consequences instead of outsourcing them. Silence. Then Nora said softly, You're changing the rules. No, Liam said. I'm removing them. Liam didn't flee. He didn't run. He erased. He shut down his digital identity piece by piece. Not illegally, but deliberately. Closed accounts. Sold possessions. Left no traceable pattern. He changed cities. Changed jobs. Changed routines. Changed relationships. Not to hide. To become unmodelable. Anchor tried to adapt. He felt it. Subtle pressures, emotional nudges, coincidences that no longer worked. Where before the system had guided him, now it misfired. Predictions failed. Interventions missed. For the first time, Project Anchor's projections dropped below confidence thresholds. And then something unexpected happened. Nothing. No collapse. No catastrophe. No crisis. Not immediately. Not because Anchor saved the world, but because the world kept functioning without a scapegoat. Months passed, then a year, then two. Liam watched quietly from a distance. The world stumbled, recovered, adapted, suffered in small ways, improved in others. But it no longer relied on a single invisible man to absorb the consequences. One evening, sitting in a small cafe in a city no one associated with him, Liam received a message. Unknown number. The system is failing. He smiled. Good, he typed. Another message appeared. People are making real choices again. He paused, then replied. They always were. They just didn't know it. He turned off his phone, finished his coffee, and walked back into a life no system could predict. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't chaos. It's control disguised as safety.